Hello and welcome to Hicks Educational Power Hour. Well, power 3 minutes. Whatever, you know what I mean. Today we're covering standardized tests versus teacher-made tests. Our objectives today are as follows. With our objectives out of the way, let's jump in. To begin, what is a standardized test? Almost everyone has taken one at some point in their life, but you may not know that not all standardized tests are for school. Do you or someone you know drive to school or work? Because in order to drive a car, legally at least, you had to pass a driving test. But have you ever been to a restaurant? Because I can guarantee that whoever served you, along with the chef that made your food, have also taken standardized tests for their jobs. Now you must be thinking, wait. There are a lot of people who have taken a standardized test, but I still don't know what the heck a standardized test even is. To that I say, worry not. In the span of the next few minutes, you'll be a pro. Simply put, a standardized test is a test that is administered, scored, and interpreted in a standard, predetermined manner. That means that everything about the test should be the same for everyone. This is why even your chillest teachers had to be sticklers for the rules that day. If you walked in with a smartwatch that could access the internet and possibly cheat, and little Timmy didn't, that wouldn't be standard. It would also be cheating, but for our purposes today, it wouldn't be standard. Are some of the things they have students do a little bit overkill? Maybe. But that's all to make sure that we can make our best inference about what the test taker knows and doesn't know. We can't take a can opener to our students' brains and pull out all the knowledge, so we have to guess with testing, because that's all testing is, making good inferences about what our students do and do not know. On the other hand, teacher-made assessments are made by, wait for it, teachers. It's one person who makes the test, checks the test, grades the test, and sends the test back to students. It's a big job for just one person. So we know that people aren't perfect, but how does just one person eliminate all bias? Well, dear viewer, I might have lied. Just a little. You see, teachers don't create tests in 100% isolation. That's impossible. They have other teachers in their grade level or content area look over the test for any possible bias. So it's good to have a second set of eyes on things, just to make sure that it's not biased from two people's perspective. But that's how teacher-made tests check for bias. How do standardized tests review for bias? This one's a bit trickier. To begin with, there are people whose only job is to write test questions for the standardized test. I will use the Virginia Standardized Test, the SOL, to keep things concise and speak only for my state. Then, once these questions have been written, they're passed along to a panel of reviewers, mostly teachers. These people all come from different backgrounds, ethnicities, identities, and genders. Then, some test questions are tried out on an SOL that the students take. These don't count for a grade or anything like that, and they are passed alongside the questions that are graded so that the students don't know which questions count and which ones don't. This is all important because they all read over each question and search for bias that could be harmful and distracting towards the students. So we know who makes our tests, and we make sure that they're fair and unbiased, but what do test scores even mean? For starters, we have a new vocabulary term, a raw score, spelled R-A-W. A raw score is just the plain old number of answers you get right. We take this score into something called a measure of central tendency, which is basically, how did our group do? Most likely, the data will end up in a bell curve, with the most popular score being in the middle. Ideally, that middle is going to be above a 70, as we want all our students to pass our test. A normal distribution will be a regular-looking bell curve. I'm sure you can imagine it in your mind. But there are some cases where the bell curve may be flatter. This is because students got the exact same score and the scores are more evenly distributed, making a softer hill as opposed to a larger mountain. The main difference here between teacher-made tests and standardized tests is that teacher-made tests are a bit easier to understand, as they are more easily converted to the 10-point scale we know and love, or hate, today. The Virginia SOL is done on a 600-point scale, with around 400 being considered as passing. Most teachers, especially the ones I know, tend to make their test around 20 or 25 questions for easy conversion to that 10-point scale that we're all familiar with, and the one that'll show up on the report card. In conclusion, both standardized and teacher-made tests are important for student success and are created, analyzed, and graded in different ways. Thank you for joining me on this Education Power Hour. I have been your host, Hicks, and I will catch you on the flip side. See ya!